What did you see when you went back and watched the film of the scrimmage and the overview of that?
Right. I think the grand overview is that there's inconsistencies everywhere, and that's definitely what we have to clean up. That's both sides of the football. And offensively, we had too many turnovers, and defensively, we were too inconsistent, especially when we got down in the red area, which is extremely important down there. So, overall, just a lot of things glaring in terms of inconsistencies, and that's where we've got to, we've got 1 week to try to go back and address those issues, which we did today.
Do you see anybody step up at that backup spot in the linebacker, whether it's Landrum or Ashton Richardson, get a chance there?
It's a work in progress still. There's no question about it. The linebacker position is one that obviously, we've got a lot of work to do there in terms of developing depth for sure. I thought Darren Bates had a really good scrimmage Saturday. I thought he was coming around. I think he's, he's really understanding where he fits within the defense. So that was a bright spot in terms of him, having a better day, and that was a good thing.
Have you seen him kind of step up in that leadership role too, as one of the more veteran guys on defense?
I think that he's trying to lead. I think that there's been so much learning going on, and so much. There's a lot of moving parts out there that he's got his own issues trying to learn the position and learn our sub packages, and him being in there on our substitution packages, which is different than our base stuff. So there's a lot of things that he's learning, but in the meantime, I think he's trying to lead. I think the best example of leading is him showing up in the scrimmage, and playing better, and I think he did that.
Coach, who were some other bright spots in the scrimmage besides Darren Bates?
I really feel like our pass rush, we're making some strides on our pass rush. I felt like we pushed the pocket up inside a little bit better Saturday. I think D Ford I think he's coming back to playing form, which is really good to see, coming off that injury. But, him and Corey Lemonaire at the ends right now can give you some speed on the edge that's really, really challenging for our tackles, which is good to see. But, I think those two pressured the passer, Saturday the way we expect them to. So they did that. Other than that, I hesitate to talk about anybody else because, again, they didn't play perfect, but I think that they did some things that, that stood out.
Ginger, have you decided what you're going to do A-Day as far as?
We've tossed it around, Philip. I'm not there yet. Exactly how we're going to do that. Again, we're going to wait. We're going to go through the week. We're going to see where we are, numbers-wise, injury-wise. Again, we've got some guys that are a little beat up and banged up, and we've got 2 more physical days before we play in that spring game, the spring scrimmage. So, again, we'll know more later in the week.
Did anybody on offense have a good scrimmage?
I just think offensively, I think the overall lying deal was that everybody was inconsistent. There's not one guy that I can point out and say that he was very consistent and very productive, and that doesn't mean that nobody played well. When there's 2 or 3 guys out of position, obviously that can cause disaster on a play. So there was too much of that, and so there's nobody that I would say just stood out after watching the film offensively.
Could you talk a little bit about Chris Frost, how he's developed to come along since he's come back?
Again, Chris's challenge is he's got to learn the defense, and he's got to be consistent in alignments, and he's got to be consistent in executing the defense. The great thing is that he's a young guy. It's the first time he's really played, and he's been healthy all spring, which has been a good thing. He's taken a lot of reps, and so there's some improvement that you're going to see there. But he's still a good ways away in terms of just knowledge of the game and knowledge of the defense.
Do you see some of the flashes that made him such a highly rated guy?
Yeah, I think he's got the tools to be a good player. I don't think there's any question about that. And I think that'll come, confidence will come, when he, feels a degree of comfort with what we're doing. But he showed flashes out there of being able to be a good contributor here.
Do you think he'll be on the outside, I mean, for the time being, at least?
I think for the time being, yes. You know, that's where he's been all spring, and really and truly, that's where he's developed his reps. So for the time being, I don't see that changing.
Is there anyone else you're thinking about at the linebacker?
Well, right now, again, we're still in the developmental process. There's nobody this spring really that that's going to get a lot of reps at it. There may be some guys you throw in there to to give guys a breather, but for the most part, Chris Landman's been at, Jake Holland's been at. Again, there might be a guy we can throw in there to spell somebody, but for the most part, that's it.
Could you talk about the new facilities downstairs, the weight room being expanded and connected to the indoor, what that's meant to you guys?
It's been great, and again, our administration, where we've been able to come, I think, in the last 2 years in terms of facilities, has been outstanding. And it's not just a great recruiting tool because it looks nice. There's reasons behind it. It's very functional. The indoor right now, even now, sometimes the grass is too wet in the morning, and you're risking pulled hamstrings, pulled groins. You just go inside for whatever drills you need to go inside for, and it takes the pressure off of footing and things of that nature. The other Saturday we wanted to have a scrimmage in the stadium. Obviously we went indoors. So I think that the fact that that's a very functional place for us is big.